I was wrong about the Crew 2. Actually, that's a little bit of a lie. Today's video is me basically coming out and saying that my last video on the Crew 2, you may remember the one I made discussing how there's a problem with the game. Well, that problem has been resolved, it would seem. I didn't make that video to bash the game in any way. The reason I made it is to point out something that I thought honestly may have not been fixed until an update in the future. Like, I'm talking like 6 months down the line. But in fact, they've managed to fix it between the betas, which is not something I expected. I made the video, and apparently, it wasn't supposed to be like that. There was actually something wrong in the game that was giving you parts that were way too good than what you should have been getting. From what I've played now, I found that you can get 3 parts that are worse. Now, I like that. That's what I wanted. I found that you were getting parts 20 levels above everything you had. So completing a car, fully upgrading any car, takes 3 hours. And that may seem like a long time, but come on, it's 3 hours. The games are generally, in my mind, should last like at least like 12 hours of gameplay, right? Now granted, that would have been 1 car. But then once you've completed that 1 car, and you have those parts on that car, you do the race once more, and you're always going to get 280 part, 280 part, 280 part. You're not going to get any lower. And then when it comes to the other class of cars, it's going to take about 3 hours to max those out. And once you've maxed out every single car class, it takes 3 hours to max out every single car class. For the grinders, we did have something left. When I first made that video, Fergus the lead messaged me on Twitter, and we had a quick discussion about the affixes or affixes or whatever. When you get a part, you don't just get a part unless it's green. If it's green, that's the lowest rarity. Blue is second rarity, and the pink ones are the rarest ones. Now, the blue ones have 1 perk on them. The pink ones have 2. So that's also randomized depending on how many times you keep playing the event, which is awesome. So when you go into these parts, you can click on them. I just a quick one, but you can see that that increases scoring by 3% on all skills. This one increases distance detection on drag bump by 2.5%. This one increases nitrous power by 2.8%. So they all have their own special things to do something to a car. I also realized I haven't got all the best parts on because I have been grinding with a different car, because you still get better parts depending on the best car you have. So I'm level 260. So from what I've found, okay, how long does it now take to fully upgrade a car? Well, I haven't actually done that yet, to be fair. I've got to 260, and it's taken me, I did a stream, we got to about 3.5 hours, and I was around level 230, I want to say, something like that, which is the level you need to do the events, like on hard, so about 240, 230, I think I was. So I actually did a stream testing this, and as I said, we went for 3.5 hours grinding out and seeing what we could get, and I was super pleasantly surprised. In the end, I think now to max out a car to 280, to its maximum perf level, I'm going to say it takes now about 5 hours to max out a car. To 280, to max perf level, depending on whatever class you're using, it's going to take you about 5 hours, which is better than 3. But then you've got to remember there's also the affixes on the perk parts that go on the parts, which is going to take you even longer if you want to get the best parts, because sometimes you get lower level parts but have great perks. So for example, the brake distance now is less. I like that. For the grinders, that's great. If you want to just play the game and you just want the best car straight away, get 280, you're done. Once you've got 280 on a car, you can put it on any car, easy. But for those like me that are going to be playing this game for years, you've got to remember the expansion's coming out. There's a new rarity type of part coming out soon, which I imagine will have 3 perks on it. You've got to grind those parts, and all 3 perks will be randomized, and eventually, you know, for those that want to do that, let us have that. That's the slight change, like 1% change for you might mean nothing, but for when I'm playing every single day, it means a lot. I want to get my R34 to absolute balls to the walls max, and I can do that, but it's not going to be that much faster than yours, and that's fine with me, and I want to do that. Now, I've seen other people on the other side of the spectrum, as I said, because the last video, I didn't really touch upon the other side of the spectrum too much. I came up with a suggestion on adding extra levels for the 6 months down the line for when people like myself are still playing, and most casual players are not playing anymore. Well, hopefully, you know, in realistic, real terms, you would hope that everyone's still playing in 6 months, and they support the game for that well that everyone's going to be playing in 6 months, and that would be ideal. So I want to mention something that obviously I wouldn't mention unless I was looking at the other side, and it's that obviously some people don't want to grind. Some people just want to have, the best of the best straight away. For the type of people that don't really like the grind, you have to keep something in mind here. As I said, it takes 5 hours to max your car, which isn't long at all. For an RPG, this is a car PG. This is what it is. It's a car PG. This was me doing the first event. Now, the money is going to be very little on what you get on this event compared to later events. Considering there's events in the game, I think there's like 200, 300 events, whatever. And that's just the main events, not including skills. This is the first set of events. So when it comes to money, when it comes to parts, when it comes to the followers, it's going to be super low compared to what it is in 30 races down the line. You are going to get more money. You're going to get more parts. You're going to get better parts later on in the game, surely. And if you don't get better parts, the rule of obviousness, you're going to get better parts because you've been upgrading your car throughout playing the game. It's a hard balance because I mentioned again in the last video that they catered more to the casuals in the game. I can now retract that statement because that's not true. There was an issue with the game and that has been resolved before launch, and they actually thanks me for realizing that, which was super sweet. And I'm glad that I can actually, something significant like that was spotted. Overall, the game definitely still caters more towards casual than the last game. And that's okay with me because the last game was a little bit daunting for others. It needs to be a balance. This is a very good balance, indeed, because overall, compared between Forza, compared to Need for Speed at the beginning was great. I really liked it, and they made it super easy, not as I would prefer to play. In my ideal world, the Crew 1 did it much better than any other racing game when it comes to leveling up and stuff. This bridge section is freaking awesome. I like driving around this game. It's cool. Just drive around, have a discussion about the game. Forza definitely caters towards casuals massively. Like, you're gonna get the best cars right at the beginning in the game. We know that. That's what Forza does, and I've kind of come to accept that. But I always need that balance of aggressive grinding, and if any game is going to do that, surely it has to be this one, the car PG. Need for Speed, EA have said that they're catering less towards grinding out. They want people to just have fun, which for Need for Speed, for racing games are always very close to RPGs in that. Well, let me just say, EA announced that they're no longer doing grinding, then showed Anthem, their game, that it's an RPG, which should have grinding. In my ideal world, I would like every game to be the biggest grind fest ever, and that the people that put the work in get the best results when it comes to their cars. And I think they've found a decent balance on this that I'm happy with right now. Maybe in the future I might not be, but I'm going to be that type of person that's going to get the best perk parts on every single class. That's going to take, what, 10, 20, 30, 40 hours. And then they're going to release an extra new type of part that's going to take me 50 hours to get the absolute balls to the walls cars. So I'm happy. I think I'm going to go and say that I'm happy with the game as it is. And I want to say thank you to you guys that left your feedback in the comments, talking about your opinions on it, either with or against what I said in the last video. They've now changed it, and they've, corrected it and made it the way it was meant to be, because there was an issue that they didn't spot, and they've now corrected that issue. As said again, though, I still hope that in a year's time, we get some more, levels, some more parts, for us to keep unlocking, keep leveling our cars, so it kind of once again makes it so that it's a reshuffle. Those people that got the best perk parts, I don't think we'd feel like we wasted our time getting those, even if we were if they upgraded the level 20 levels, because let's be honest, in most cases, we still might be a little bit better than some people that have the 20 parts extra, until we then get those 20 parts with the extra perk parts. And that's the type of game I'm hoping for a game that gets updated and the level cap keeps getting increased and that kind of thing. If you agree with me, make sure to let me know down in the comments. If you disagree with me, please let me know down in the comments. Again, I want this to be a discussion. I don't want this to be a one-sided thing. I know that it was not a massive split, because I know that a majority of people thought that 3 hours wasn't enough. Like, imagine if you had a game come out that was a 3-hour progression and that was the end of the game. You would not be happy paying £60 for that, or £50, whatever, $60. And that's just how I felt. But anyway, be sure, my friends, to smash like. The open beta is coming to a close. I mean, it's already ended by the time I made this video. It's literally in 3 minutes the beta is going to end, I think. Which is why I got up at like 7 today to film videos, because I then have to wait for the game to come out. And I don't whether them. Please be sure to smash like on this video. Give me a massive amount of support, whether you're for or against this, because the comments are just as important as this video. So if they disagree with it completely, then we'll get both sides of the argument, and that's what I want. Subscribe if you want more of The Crew 2. I'm going to be posting absolutely everything from this game. I'm going to cover everything, whether it kills me or not. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, color in the water. Peace.